This week's tip is, what do condo fees cover? Tim, go with it.
We've been helping our clients buy quite a few condos these days, and whenever they have that condo document review done, they really want to know what their condo fees are covering, because sometimes they can get quite high. If you're in a nicer building, you can have condo fees upwards of $1,000 a month. So we wanted to drill in and let people know exactly what those condo fees cover.
Yeah, and it's perfect because it comes hand in hand with cash flow. Condo fees can basically get in the way, Tim, of a cash flowing property. But what do they cover and what do we need to understand? First of all, a few items that are covered is heat, water, garbage removal, landscaping, snow removal, exterior maintenance, insurance, and reserve fund. Now, the reserve fund, Tim, we know that roughly 20% of your condo fee is going towards that reserve fund.
Yeah, so all of those items that Azad just mentioned, you're paying for them through your your condo fee contributions. But again, you don't have to pay out of your own pocket if something goes wrong with one of those things, like exterior maintenance. Whereas if you had a single family house and the roof went, you have to cover that expense all by yourself. Whereas if the roof on your condominium goes, it's covered in the reserve fund.
Yeah, and you know what? We need to stress the insurance part of it, because if you're insuring a semi-detached or a detached home, your insurance could be upwards of $2,000. But with the condos, Tim, because it's insuring the part of the condo fees in insuring the exterior of the property, your condo fees are normally around the 300 to 400 range. So that is a huge saving, and that's what you have to understand when getting into a condo, either an apartment or a townhouse. Now, Tim, what are some of the items that make condo fees go through the roof?
Yeah, so if you're in a larger complex or a nicer building, a huge building, a building that maybe wasn't maintained over time, the condo fees are going to cover, say, elevators. If you have a building with 1 or 2 or even 3 elevators, that's covered under your condo fees. Also, amenities within the building. There could be a swimming pool, there could be a gym, there could be a
doorman,
a library, a doorman.
Yeah.
All of that stuff is covered by your condo fees. So understandably, they're going to be a little higher than the buildings without any of them.
Yeah, and the library is key, because some of these areas, Tim, they have a huge common room. We've seen with the kitchenette, a pool table, all of those things are covered, which jack up the condo fees. And what really jacks up the condo fees, Tim, over the years is properties being mismanaged. And when they're mismanaged, they didn't collect enough reserve fund to maintain the building. And this is where we see, Tim, where you really have to look into condo fees and the reserve fund. What does the reserve fund cover? We just bought a property out in Auburn Bay, actually, for a nice client, Kaladi, on the weekend. And he bought into a condo development where they weren't even sure if the reserve fund would cover new doors or new windows. Now, what would happen in that situation? We went through with the deal knowing this. What would happen is they wouldn't give all the money they've collected over the years back. That would just maintain that condo fee at that level. And if he did have to pay out of pocket, they would actually reduce the condo fees to cover those items going forward. So you actually need to understand, and you can tell, Tim, when we go into these complexes, you can tell if the windows and doors are covered, because they'll all be the same.
Yeah.
And if they're not, you'll see different types on those properties. So it's really, really important to know what the condo fees cover when you get into an apartment or a townhome. We always say, Tim, you're buying into a corporation, basically, and you need to know how well that corporation is run. So we will never buy a condo with no
condominium document
review. We will never do that for our clients. We just don't believe in it. Even if, Tim, I guess if one property was bought, within 5 or 10 days, but you never know what's happened within that condo. And it's always going to be in the condo documents. If there was water damage or foundation problems, that will come out. So it's important to do it. But that's what's covered with your condo fees. If this is your first crew tip of the week, we have many, many more on our crew TV, Calgary Real Estate Wealth TV. Just go on there, subscribe so you don't miss future tips.